listening to the Wartime Leadership Podcast. We're back, and now your host, Nathan Coy.
We are back. Some of the greatest words that have ever been told of all time. We are back, folks. We are happy. Jeff and I have been in contact over the last few months. Actually, well, we never really lost contact with one another. I mean, literally at about 10:30 at night, my time, I'll get a text. Hey, bro. I'm like, oh, there's Jeff again. There he is. But I'm okay with it because it's G. And I love you, brother. How you doing?
Good. I'm great to be back. New setup. So let's do it. I mean, video. Wow. So this is a nice little test, and we got some cool little fun things that we're going to try. So I'm excited about that.
It's really interesting. You're in a new house. You're in a new studio. I've got a new house. I've got a new studio. Actually, Lena gave me an entire room for my studio, which I absolutely love because it's all set up the way that I want it to be and where you approve of sound quality. So,
yeah, that's all correct except half of it. I have not left. This is all the same. No edit. It's all the same, but it's my cave. One of them.
It's your man cave. It's okay.
Oh.
But I love the new setup with the tiling all down the ceiling and stuff.
Again, it's been there. Just the camera was crappier.
Well, that's probably why I can now see it.
Mm-hmm. No, life has been very interesting, but you've got a lot of new things, or actually new to the audience. More so, this is a big reason we took a hiatus.
Yes, I retired from active duty Air Force service. I actually took a job with the Department of the Navy. I've been a Navy civilian for a year now, getting ready to actually. I know, right?
That was
because I look scary with the beard and stuff, and that's okay, Jeff. That's okay.
I'm Jeff.
My name's Jeff, and you're special. I grew some facial hair. I got some longer hair up top. Actually, the folks that can see it on video, like
very emo.
Yeah, I'm trying, got it all pulled over from the side. It's great. But, it moved into a new house, moved into a new job, started into industry, as we say. It has really made me appreciate the military a lot more. Just the connections that we make, not necessarily the military in general, because, I'm enjoying being retired.
Hold on there, buddy.
Yeah, no, I miss the people, right? Like I will forever miss the people, staying in contact with people like you and Brian, or the brain, if you will. Brian, some of these individuals that have had an impact on me and in my life. We just celebrated Memorial Day. I get this concept of Happy Memorial Day, right? Because people who are outside of the train of thought of the military are like, oh, happy day. It's a holiday, right?
It's
to people like,
to
people like you and me, it's, how do we remember, how do we not forget our brothers and sisters in arms that have been taken from us, either at their own hand or by the hand of the enemy?
It's hard not to feel sad, but then you have to kind of really go, all right, I don't want to be the sad sack around here, but also, would these people want me to just be moping around for them? I mean, probably not, because most of them were, except for a few low points, was, service before self, or they would call you a lot of different names for showing any type of emotion besides happy and pissed off. That's the only way we were able to feel nothing, happy, pissed off.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, it is so weird trying to explain that to a civilian, like somebody that's been civilian their entire life, or even somebody that was only in for a short period of time that doesn't have the connectedness or didn't allow themselves to be connected. So having just celebrated Memorial Day, being off work and really kind of having that first time out the door of being a civilian and living in that world a little bit more. I'm blessed because the people I work with, a lot of them were prior military, but a good portion of our developers are not and are younger. And so being able to explain it to them to that level of what it looks like was really, really kind of captivating for me. And I've had a lot of really great conversations over the last year with individuals about spiritual resilience, specifically resilience, but really just the idea of what spiritual resilience looks like, because you can't express to somebody. Oh, okay. I can't express to somebody without getting a little bit spiritual, just because of the nature of who I am as an individual. And so, having the honor of being able to have a team that is mostly not prior military was good for me to have those types of conversations. But it's been over a year, and actually, I think Brian was our last episode, and it was just over a year ago, man. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
what's been the biggest change for you?
All things change, all things stay the same. I mean, my personal, day in and day out hasn't necessarily completely changed. A couple little contracts here and there, some music stuff that I will hit back later because I got some ideas. Um, more to do with family. My oldest, he got married,
Oof.
a couple months ago. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I have the wonderful news of getting called grandpa in a few months, or probably 6.
What?
I know I'm not grandpa material yet, or maybe I am. I just need to go past the dad part and be like, just shower. I mean,
Yeah.
cool
Wow.
stuff.
Well, dude, that's big news for me, because I didn't even know that, and we talk quite often.
We go back and forth about business, and things get
Yeah.
sidetracked. It's all good.
Yeah, no, I
No, well,
love being able to talk to you on this level, though, because this is where I like to be at with people, the relationship side of it. But I'm now grandpa times two.
yeah, that's right. One of the things I've learned in my little tenure of doing podcasts and producing, and one of the little nuggets is wait for the podcast. If you have a story, you have crazy news, and you can share it weekly or something like that, or especially if you're doing it daily, or those are rough. Or some of those folks having to come up with hours of content each day, which I applaud people like Corolla for doing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But yeah, you save it for the podcast because I mean, yeah,
How
that's
do you
what
sound
you
excited the second time around? It's like, go ahead and tell me the news again, Jeff. Go ahead, tell me it again. Go ahead, come on, do it
I
one
mean,
more time.
I've told you other things. I'm like, I got medical appointments coming up, and you're like, yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
saving that
okay.
for the podcast.
Yeah,
We might
that's.
have a video of it next week.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to the VA. Oh, it's gonna be exciting.
No, not really. It's wouldn't.
No,
No, it's not one of the. It's not
no,
an exciting appointment.
no. That is another thing about retirement that has been absolutely hard to get used to. So I'm trying to play the double system, right? Like, I'm trying to do the TRICARE Prime thing, as well
Mhm.
as the what can I get from the VA thing, and it's like, I don't know. I do love Charleston, though. Where we are in Charleston has absolutely one of the best clinics that I've ever seen. So
Right on.
I actually, my hat's off to the VA. They have cleaned up a lot of the things that were ridiculously wrong with the system before. They
Oh
have
wow.
gotten their act
Yeah,
together in a lot
definitely
of ways.
need to hear more about that.
Yeah. Oh. Well, you're out in Colorado. Well, you're on the border, so you can kind of play the system between the two.
I have a really good hospital up here in Cheyenne, and on occasion, if I want to get a faster, like say, dental appointment or a eye exam, I go to Colorado. They
Yeah.
have more clinics, and they're not. It's not bad. The whole system, I haven't had a bad deal up here, so I'm really happy. Everybody's had their ups and downs. I mean, I deal more with the bureaucratic stuff
Mm,
than the care. The care has been fantastic, and they're expedient. So I don't know what some people, maybe they're in big cities and stuff like that and can't
yeah.
get in. But I mean, the only thing that's always backed up is the eye clinic. And so you kind of go, okay, plan a
Mm.
year ahead or two or whatever when you need glasses and set it, and it's all good. Or take your butt to lens crafters.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I just took my wife and son to
How?
Walmart to go get glasses. So all three of us got glasses, and it was a lot cheaper doing it that route. Now, granted, we have insurance on top of the VA, right? So it's not all the time 100% that. Obviously, there are some things that are better and quicker when you spend your own dime. to go do it.
Of course.
And I don't necessarily have an issue with it. But again, I have no complaints so far with the VA. So, yeah,
But
especially here in Charleston.
this
So.
is getting in the weeds. I mean, I'm pretty sure a
I
number
know.
of people really don't want to be hearing two middle-aged guys talk about going to the doctor.
Hey.
We're not that cool.
Yeah, we are not at that level.
But what we can do is discuss about what we're going to do with the show and
Yeah.
future guests, stuff like that. A little taste, and you know what? The why. I mean, you have a new job. You have a whole thing of things
Yeah.
going on. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
want to
and
share
our
share
journey
too much,
continues.
but you are on the road quite a bit, so which makes
I
this
was
difficult.
on I was on the road so dadgum
So
much this year.
why so you want to spend all this time, any extra time with the family? Why do you want to hang out with me or some other person for an hour or so every once a week? And being able to do that, what's bringing you back, buddy?
You know, Jeff, I think that you and I have had this conversation, and now we're going to bring it to the forefront of our audience. People who have reached back to me that have actually talked about what this has meant for them. Um, Being on the road has been extremely difficult. Over the last year, I have been to Italy, I've been to Guam, I've been to Hawaii, to Japan, to all these different locations where I'm spending a lot of time in airports and spending a lot of time in lounges and just kind of conversing with different types of people. And I genuinely love connecting to that level. And I think it was whenever myself and there's a chief petty officer that I travel with a lot by the name of Brian Sexty, getting ready to retire himself. So we've been spending a lot of time talking through what this looks like. But he and I having a conversation just as we have grown in this, it's been a journey together with him to talk through spiritual resilience and what it looks like. Not overly religious in his own right, much like yourself. He is not. He's more of a free thinker in what happens, and so in having that conversation, continuing to build it, this is somebody that I've gotten to know really, really well. There's something about the 5 minute introduction, right? Like the 5 minutes that you have to really grasp onto and get into somebody's head to start down this conversation, and the willingness of people to
You have to
share
ask
their experiences.
you have to ask permission first before you start just digging through there. Come on.
Well, you do. It's kind of, well,
No,
never mind.
no.
I'm not going to go
I'm
there,
sorry.
Jeff.
I'm sorry.
Please don't take me down that road. Lord have mercy. But it's, getting to know you on a quick deal before you talk about, in many cases, like the worst experience of their life, right?
Oh yeah.
Or many series of experiences that happened that led to what this looks like in their life, and I just continuing to have that has been of importance for me, and that's where some of these things are going to change. We're going to get more outside of the spiritual side and jump more into the resilience and just really helping people tell their stories. There's a guy that we're going to have on hopefully in a few weeks, if we can nail down time, now that the South Carolina legislature is out of is on pause. Hopefully we can get him in. His name's Corey Allen. He is the guy that I refer to often as the Rush Limbaugh of South Carolina politics. He has a podcast, very active podcast, but now he also has a radio show that is being syndicated through many of the cities throughout South Carolina and growing even bigger. It's happened very, very quickly. But if you heard his past and his, I don't want to call it resentment, his pause to tell his story is because people look at him in a viewpoint of the political spectrum only and hasn't really gotten outside of it. And I was on his show a couple of months back, and we were talking about this very thing, about what it looks like. And he was like, man, I would love to be on your show because I never get to show this side of me. Like, I never get to tell people about this. And he just started going off about his story on his show where he was interviewing me. And I was like, I'm just kind of like, bobbing my head up and down as he's
I saw
talking.
the clip.
And I don't
It was
feel
great.
bad
It was
about
great.
it.
It was
I don't
great.
feel,
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it, but it's stories like Corey's. We're gonna go back and we're gonna visit Darren McBee, who if you remember, he's Malibu, or he was
Yeah,
Malibu
yeah.
on American Gladiators. He's been through the LA fires.
Oh,
Uh,
those. Oh man,
yeah.
he is so such a cool get, and you're with any of these people, but really with some people with like a, well, not to toot my own horn, TBI, or CTE or something like that. Some of these cats, they just don't. They have no tether, so it's very interesting what or who you're going to get. And not saying that he's crazy or anything. He was fantastic, very interesting, very dialed in, and discussing all that stuff that we watched as kids on TV, and because he was in
Hmm.
that first season, so we were kids.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was in that first season and just absolutely like mind boggling at the feat of human strength that these guys have, and ladies. But then on top of it, to see what life battles he has gone through and
Oh, I watched the
overcome
doc.
since that time, right? Like, I mean, yeah, you watch the documentary on Netflix, or there's a couple of different documentaries that are out there about American Gladiators, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like really this guy. And then you listen to his story and you're just like, oh my gosh. And that's another aspect of this I love, is the connectability, and how much they're willing to give of themselves
It's
to
so
this one
it's
hour,
so
right?
crazy. It's crazy. You were saying, we do an introduction, and then 5 minutes later, these people are just pouring out, and you're like, wow, we just got coffee. We just sat
Hmm.
down. Let's do some pleasantries, and I'm like, no, people want to get to the nitty gritty, and the guests do. I mean, I would have, as a podcast listener, watcher, a fan, and all that stuff. I think you have to be to do this. You want to get the true stories. You want to get the
Hmm.
real stuff. Everybody that's just like pleasantries, this and that. Cut to the fat. Let's do it.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I want to go back to some of our former guests that that we were just starting out with, like Jeff Johnson. Jeff Johnson
Mhm.
would be, his podcast has come so far, and he's got a connectability story with an NBA player now that he really supports, that he knew from high school days and college. Listen, his show where he talks about his son dying of fentanyl overdose, and then his wife taking her own
Oh
life
yeah.
shortly thereafter, like just gut wrenching. I think that was like episode 5 or something. Like it was one of the early
I
ones that
don't.
we did.
Yeah, we weren't ready for that, but it was
Yeah.
so good. I
And but
mean,
I've stayed in contact with him via text. Just he has stayed in contact with me just as much as I have with him. And so I would love to get back with him just to kind of see how that year-long journey went for him, of going state to state raising money for
and so,
suicide awareness as well as drug rehab. So
and some of these
um
cats we haven't seen or heard from in about 3 years.
mhm. Yeah, and
You're going. You go back to episode 1 through 5. It's
yeah,
been a bit. And
yeah,
hopefully
100%.
we've come a little a little rusty, probably.
Yeah, yeah, no,
A little
no,
older, a little
no
grayer.
doubt. Yeah, a little bit more showing at least. I got a little bit more showing. My wife keeps telling me not to do this, but I can't stop. It's just
It is
nice.
a nervous tick.
It
I've been
is.
doing it. I've been doing it for a decade.
Yeah. Well, and we do have one episode that we did record before we kind of took the hiatus, and I would love to get that one mixed and out there here soon. Um, and it is with a good friend of mine that I knew a little bit of his story. Um, a very small, albeit at this point, I'm learning that it was a very small portion of what I had known of this man. And you all are, his name is Aaron Bryant. He goes by DJ Nameless, I believe, is what he goes by.
Okay.
Um, if I don't know if anybody here knows the Christian hip hop scene, but KB is one of his best friends from growing up, and he still goes to a lot of his concerts, gets backstage, introduces people to him. Aaron is an all around great guy. He's a gargantuan man, huge man, like super tall, deep and wide, like a big
Oh
dude.
yeah.
And but you hear his story of growing up, and just the fighting scene and getting kicked out of his house, and just it resonates, because then he goes into churches and he dresses in the hip hop scene still, right? Like this guy is a little bit older than me, so he's maybe like 47, 48 years old. Got his hat turned sideways. He's got these big long t-shirts on, and he's walking in. It says hope dealer, and people are like, oh, it says dope dealer, like just putting a label on this guy. I think one of the greatest commercials I ever saw was the gentleman that was walking down the street, and people would just kind of walk up and stick different sticky pads on him, and it was different labels. And at the end of it, he kind of, he goes into this building, and he ends up like all the labels fall off of him, and you see who the individual is for themselves, which I absolutely love, because that's what the world does to us, is they put labels on us and expectations and try to define who we are. But in reality, we have to learn who we are and live true to ourselves. And Aaron, they put these different labels on this guy all of his life, and just to kind of, and even today, watching him walk into church, like just kind of seeing those labels fall off of him,
Awesome.
is a daily good thing. So anyways, great story. We're going to get into his as well. Hopefully we can get that one mixed soon, and we'll get that one out there.
Okay.
But that was recorded back, short hair, no beard. So
yeah, we had also a sans Mr. Coy episode with Steve Martin.
Yeah.
And Steve's looking forward to coming back. He wants to bring us up to date on his happy little retirement and second, third, probably fourth job career in acting and doing extra work as a aging day player. Let's just use that one.
Yeah, that's a good call. He was, if y'all remember the Super Bowl commercial, the first one that had come out, where it was
It was
gets
like a
us
living painting almost.
Yeah, and he did an outstanding job just kind of watching, looking at it from that perspective. But it was one of the Super Bowl commercials, and it was one of his first gigs out the gate. Well, that's a pretty big bar to set there, buddy.
He didn't even have a SAG card yet.
Yeah.
He was like, but I didn't get to speak, so I still had to wait for a couple more gigs. I'm like, okay, that's how it works. So we'll be able to get into a little bit more inside baseball on that in that world, especially the coming up of that world. It's cool to talk to individuals that have had years and decades of experience in the entertainment industry or whatever field they're in. That is fantastic. I love getting those experts in, but it's also really cool to hit people that are new in their journey, and you kind of get to learn, figure out, and hear what to do, and especially what not to do.
Yeah. Well, and at his age, like coming into it at such an older age, like there's some actors out there that I didn't realize got into acting super, super late. Like I think Gene Hackman, I think, was one that had actually waited, that had lived life and then did it later on in life.
Yeah.
And then who's the Marine that does all the comedy movies now? He retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Marines.
Rob Riggle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like I watched one of his storylines, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this guy, to go from being in the Marines to then wanting to do stage plays. I'm like, it doesn't sound like the typical Marine, gun ho, kill them all, to let's go to the screen and make everybody laugh. And he's done a phenomenal job. And I think that that's a part of his healing journey. And I'm looking for guests right now that kind of fit that bill of what that looks like. So I'm shooting big, dude. I'm shooting huge.
The Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that it's the different perspectives of so many different people that make it important.
It goes back to what you were saying. It's like, ogres have layers. Onions have layers. All the labels and stuff. It's like, you can't just be this. I'm like, or, some people want to have everything. I'm like, no, don't let one or two things define you. I mean, you are unique. No, we're all just dust in the wind.
Hey,
sorry. I can only be so positive. No, I kid.
Jeff's bringing it back to reality. Back to reality.
Well, we all went to basic training, and I always had somebody that screamed at us and told us wait, you were one of those people.
I was one of those guys. Yeah,
You're not special.
I think we're gonna have to bring up one of my hats and put it in the background. No.
Oh yeah,
those days are over.
No,
but I think this continuation of creating moments, right? Creating healing for people, helping them tell their stories. uh, there's just something special about it. And to have somebody honor us, really, because it really is an honor to have
Oh
them
yeah.
come on and to talk through some of the crappiest days of their life, and then we get to kind of form together and help them continue down this road of healing, because it's also healing for us because of what we've been through, or what we've
But
seen.
it's not all just
No.
sad stories and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of happies, and the biggest thing about it is you get the, sad story, the downfall. But what's the second half of the show is about how we come back from that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what people really need. I mean, of course, there are tons of stories, all the says of great movies, great shows, but I'm like, where's the comeback? Everybody loves
Mm-hmm.
the comeback. Who doesn't like Rocky?
I know, right?
I mean,
From down and out to world champion, right? Like,
he
and world
lost.
champion in your own ways.
He lost in the first movie, and he came out the winner. I mean, of
I
course,
mean,
it was directed by Stallone too, so he
it
had to
was
be.
written and directed by Stallone,
Yes,
so
that
that's
is
what's
true.
even better, right? Like, because he again, later on in his life, granted, he started out as a porn star and then created and started writing and doing all these things, but I mean, that's his story. That's an aspect of who he is.
If you're
We're
lucky enough to have one iconic role,
Yeah.
let alone multiple, that's pretty great. No matter who you are, what you say. I don't know him personally, his politics, but
Mm-hmm.
the grit, the work ethic on individuals like that, you're just going. Look, the motor on
Mm-hmm.
Sly is crazy. So
Rocky, Rambo. Just
Planet
those two
Hollywood.
by themselves. Oh, jeez. Really, dude? Don't throw mom. No, that wasn't him. That wasn't something about mama with a gun. Don't give mama a gun. I don't know. It's one of those. He did some good comedies too. What'd I do this time?
I know it's stop or my
Oh,
mom will shoot.
there it is. Stop
And
or
this is
my
why I
mom
wasn't
will
able to
shoot.
go to the nice schools because it's all this pop culture up there.
But Jeff, just remember that if there is a quiz about pop culture, you're on my team.
Oh, dude, I got this.
So there's that greatest movie from the 80s. Go.
Oh, you can't even do that. That's not.
Yes, I can. Do it. Favorite movie from the 80s. Best.
Uh, on the spot, Back to the Future is mine as a kid. Almost a perfect movie.
That's was
Sam
Tron.
Steve.
Tron was the 80s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Tron. Mine. Boop.
When was the last time you watched Tron?
Shut up, Jeff.
I
It's
want.
been a very long time, but at the time, one of the greatest movies of all time.
I have Doc and Marty in 4K, so I keep upgrading. No, I'm sick. I have a whole display thing with DeLoreans on it and stuff.
See, these are things that don't surprise me. Just
No,
being fair. I'm just
I
making
mean,
a fair statement.
our generation does like to collect.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, have you walked down the toy aisle? It's not meant for kids. It's all stuff from the 80s. There's Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles and Transformers. I even saw Voltron once, and I'm going, who is this for? Us to give to the kids? Our kids don't want that. They want tablets.
They just want to sit there on their phones, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'll have my toys.
So
Thank you very much.
so
Ooh,
does
Voltron.
everybody. Yeah.
That is such a great call. That and Thundercats. Come on. Can I get a hallelujah? So
yeah,
where
yeah.
do you see us going, bro? Where do you see us going over this next year as we continue to create and grow the show just a little bit more? Where do you want to go with it? Let me ask you that. Where do you want to go?
As my main role, not a co-host or anything, but on the production side, I always want to keep striving for the technical aspects to get a little bit better. The tweaking of getting the dial, the back and forth, the smoothness of the show running. But also, I can't wait to get the crazy stories, the stuff that you go, did we get that? Oh, that is a great. I never wanted to be really a journalist or anything like that, but it's kind of going, dude, did we get that? We got it. It is recorded.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and I'm going to go listen to it later. I not to sound like a narcissist, because there have been episodes many episodes that I wasn't on, or I just said I was off a lot, or I was watching, and I can go back and go, oh, because I genuinely really liked the interview with the guest, and I have my favorites. You mentioned Malibu. Just that spoke to me. There's been a couple train wrecks I went back and listened to, and I'm like, I'm gonna pull a gag reel or something like
Yeah.
that. A happy one, will which I was thinking about doing during the break. Got a little busy doing other things because I got to take a break too, you know. But no, I'm looking forward to getting back and being a little bit more creative, seeing what we can do, and maybe do some, traveling,
Mm-hmm.
some in-room shows. Great to see guests in studio.
Mm-hmm. 100%. The one train wreck that we had, and you weren't even a part of it. It was all me because of the Wi-Fi has been just a pain in the backside for recording. Was Roy Wooten? If you listen to Roy, Future Man Wooten of the Wooten Brothers, that one. It was such a powerful conversation that I had with this man. I got to know him because I was doing a John Maxwell uh, men's group where we
Oh,
were actually walking through several of the books from John Maxwell, and I was the Maxwell leader. I was the one that was kind of bringing people through, and all of a sudden, like, he pops up, and of course, I've been a fan of Bella Fleck and the Flecktones for years. My brother got me into them. Bluegrass music,
okay, cool.
very bluegrass, jazzy, very good feel. Victor Wooten is
I
the
thought
bass
you were
player from
trying.
it.
I thought you were trying to. You were really mispronouncing Ben Affleck's name.
No. Victor Wooten is his brother,
uh,
um,
yeah.
who Flea has named as one of the best bass players of all time. So if Flea says that this man is good, y'all got to go listen to Victor Wooten. Listen to Roy Wooten, the Wooten brothers. Absolutely amazing. Roy plays drums, and he actually plays this drumatar thing, which he showed during the show. He actually shows us the brand new version of that instrument, which hasn't been out yet. But listening to him talk about music and where he sees like God in music, this man, I had never heard him quote scripture before, but he talked about how God was hovering over the water. He said, now, if he's hovering over the water and it's making the water move, then that's a language that God is speaking to us. And we don't necessarily know what he was saying. But I mean, if the water's moving, because he started talking about pitch and how different pitches do different things to water or to sand. If you watch it on a Dylan, you actually like see it vibrate and move and stuff. Like different tones will do different variations of movement. And he was talking about, yeah, this is all just a language that God is speaking to us and stuff. And I'm just like blown away thinking about how he wrote the Black Mozart and these other amazing pieces, and that he's linking these things in his own mind back to God. But if you listen to the interview, it had to get spliced together. He actually was teaching a lesson while this thing was trying to download.
Mhm.
It was a pain. Jeff, you did absolutely amazing job with the product that you got with that one.
I did
Uh,
my best.
but I would love to record with him again, especially just simply because of what that looked like. But I think that growth overall is what I want this next year. Just being able to grow into this role a little bit more. Episode 2 or 3, I think it was actually episode 3. I was talking to a fellow podcaster, and afterwards I said, "Hey, Chief," because he was an E9 Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force. I said, "Hey, Chief, you got any feedback for me?" He was like, "Yeah, let the guest speak." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean? Like, we just had a conversation." He was like, "You didn't let me speak. Like, you kept overstepping and stepping on what I was saying so you could fill it with your own story, when I'm sitting here trying to tell my story." Like, the way only a military man can tell a military man, like, you need to shut WTF, SF, just shut up and let the person speak, get to know their story. That's why you're having them on. Kind of hit me with a ton of bricks because I didn't think I was doing that bad. So it's been a continual journey of learning and becoming better at what we are doing. And I think that you and I have a good, unique way of doing this because we can converse with each other very easily. And growing into that with guests is going to be and play just as vital of a role. So I think continuing to create these moments of continued healing is really where I want to be. And going into this next season, this next timing of the show, really having that centering, taking the mess and helping people clean it up, right? Like, it's just kind of the deal. But anyways, I digress. We're getting on to 36 minutes into this. Yeah, I know. I just used I digress because the name, yeah, you knew where I was going with that. Everybody else is like, what? Just listen to the Brian.
That hits close to me because my biggest thing is ADD kicks over. Everyone would know. They're laughing, and you're going, he talks too much. I'm like, that's why I choose roles that I don't have to talk. Because
I don't want to.
I just come up and go, hey, everybody. And then I get excited and turn into Chris Farley,
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad. I just walk in and go, my name is Jeff. And
it is so fitting.
Yeah. So,
well,
it's going to be fun.
Final thoughts, man.
I'm down. I'm pumped. Are you going to be back next week, or are we,
We will not be back next week. We are taking a little bit of time between now and when I get back from Oklahoma. We're going to drive as a family to Oklahoma with 4 puppies in my brand new truck. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. But I want to get another episode in the books between now and 2 weeks from now, so that I want to get Corey Allen on probably here next couple of weeks. And I think to kind of start up the pace again, we're going to do 1 episode every 2 weeks, just to kind of get our feet under us, to get some more episodes into the can. Once we get more into the can and can get ourselves padded by about 10 to 12 guests, then we will start rolling them out and be able to take longer breaks in between. So that's what I want to be able to do for you all. I want good quality questions. So find us on Instagram at Wartime Leadership. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, X. We're on all the socials. You can go to our website, thewartimeleadershippodcast.com. Find any of us on any of the socials and send us some questions you would like to have for guests. Generalized questions, just what you're going through, something very, very small, very short, but send us a direct message. I promise you, I will get back to you. I always do. It just may take me a couple of weeks to get into the rhythm of it, but I will get back to you. I want to know what you want to know. I want to know what you have questions about. If you've heard a guest in the past that you're really, really interested in, reach back to us. Let us know who that guest was and what question could we ask to take it a little bit deeper for you, because you are the importance. You're the reason that Jeff and I do what we do. We don't do this because of this. It comes from the military, right? It comes from our military background, but it is so much bigger than that. It is so much bigger than Jeff and I. It's so much bigger than just the military input that we have from people. Yes, I think when we think of resilience, we think a lot more of the military, just simply because we see what the military goes through day in and day out. Our first responders, our police, our firefighters, our ambulance drivers, our EMTs, just all of these individuals. I think that's naturally where our mind goes to and stays far away from the common man, if you will. But your story is important. Your story is so vital to be heard. If you want help telling your story, find us on social media, send us a message. If you have a story that is worth someone else hearing, send us a message. I'd love to have the conversation with you, find out where it is.
Not, we're not picky.
No. Well, we're not picky.
The staff isn't picky, so we like work.
It's your story. It's your story, and it's important, and we want to know it. We want to hear it. So I think going forward, that's kind of where we're going to be. I miss this. I miss this camaraderie that we have, that I did learn in the military, but now we're bringing it to light in the civilian sector and here with you, our guests. Yeah, if you know somebody with a story, reach out to us. If you yourself have a story, reach out. We just want to hear from you. Jeff, any final thoughts from you?
My name is Jeff. That's it.
Okay. Well, that was.
No, I dig all you're saying. So, but more importantly, not more importantly, equally as important, please listen, watch, come check. We are starting this new season, this new YouTube station. So come support us, like, share, do it all. We have merch, we have everything. Yes, that right there, right underneath Nathan Coy, Nate Coy, the Coy.
If you go to the wartime, if you go to wartimetac wartimeleadership.com, or you go to the wartimeleadershippodcast.com, you'll be able to find our merch. We got t-shirts. We've got with the new logo that came out midway through last season. We've got it with the old school logo that we have right above here. We've got everything. Just help support, because 100% of what we get goes right back into trying to produce better quality for you. And so everything helps, and we don't say no to anything. Okay.
Okay, we have you on record for that. With that said, boss, how about we just bring it home, huh?
Sounds good. Hey, we love you. We hope to hear from you here soon. Remember that you are resilient. You are the definition of resilience, and nothing that you do, nothing that you can say will keep you from the finish line. You just have to keep getting it on. Thank you all so much for listening. We look forward to the next season as we get this going at the Wartime Leadership Podcast.